The sterile corridors of the starship chimed with a tense silence. As captain of the Odyssey, I was used to high-stakes situations, but the intel we just received was a game-changer. A spy from the rival Xylos Federation had infiltrated our ranks, and the leak originated from the medical bay. My gut tightened. The medical bay was her domain, Lieutenant Alara's. She was the brilliant, beautiful officer I was secretly, madly in love with. A relationship forbidden by Star Command protocol, a secret we guarded with our lives. But this new development cast a dark shadow over everything. Could she be the traitor? My heart hammered against my ribs as I strode toward the medbay. Every step felt like a betrayal. I found her analyzing a datapad, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Lieutenant," my voice was colder than the vacuum of space. She looked up, her warm smile faltering at the sight of my grim expression. "Captain, what is it?" I didn't waste time. "There's a spy on board. The breach traces back to this department." "Your department?" Her eyes widened in shock, then narrowed in defiance. "You can't possibly think it's me." The accusation hung in the air, thick and suffocating. The professional mask I wore was cracking. The man in love with her was at war with the captain who had a duty to his ship. "I have to consider every possibility," I said, my voice dangerously low. I advanced on her, backing her against the cold metal wall of the bulkhead. My hand slammed against the wall beside her head, trapping her. It was a classic interrogation tactic, a show of force meant to intimidate. "Tell me the truth, Alara." Her name was a whisper, a plea. For a moment, fear flickered in her eyes, but it was quickly replaced by something else, something I couldn't read. A steely resolve. "You're crossing a line, Captain," she warned, her voice dropping to a near whisper. "I am loyal to this fleet. More loyal than you could ever imagine." There was a hidden meaning in her words, a depth that I couldn't grasp. "Prove it," I challenged, my face inches from hers. The scent of her, a mix of antiseptic and something uniquely her, filled my senses, making this all the more difficult. The urge to pull her close, to forget the mission, was overwhelming, but the lives of my crew were at stake. I couldn't let my feelings compromise my duty. She held my gaze, her own unflinching. "You want proof, Captain? You'll get it. But you might not like what you find." She reached up, not to push me away, but to tap a sequence on her comms badge, a hidden frequency. My own badge chirped in response, displaying a classified message. A single symbol blinked on the screen, a sigil I hadn't seen in years. The personal emblem of the fleet admiral, the highest authority in Star Command. My blood ran cold. I stumbled back as if struck. What is this?" I stammered, my authority dissolving into disbelief. Ilara straightened up, her demeanor shifting entirely. The gentle lieutenant was gone, replaced by a woman of immense power and authority. A calm, commanding aura radiated from her. "It's my authorization, Captain Thorne," she said, her voice now crisp and formal. "Fleet Admiral Ilara Vance, I'm here under deep cover to root out the real traitor." "You, my dear captain, were part of my test," my mind reeled. "The woman I loved, the woman I thought was my subordinate, was my superior officer? The highest-ranking officer in the entire fleet. She had been playing a role, and I had fallen for it completely. The secret relationship we had was not just forbidden. It was a cosmic joke on a scale I couldn't comprehend. "Admiral?" The word felt foreign on my tongue. You're the Admiral?" She gave a small, almost sad smile. "I needed to see who I could trust. I needed to know if your personal feelings would override your professional duty. You just passed, Captain." With flying colors, I might add. Relief and humiliation washed over me in equal measure. I had been ready to arrest the love of my life, and in doing so had proven my loyalty to her, the Admiral. The irony was staggering. "The real spy," she continued, her expression hardening, "is your first officer, Commander Vex. He's been feeding information to the Xylos for months. I've been gathering the evidence." Everything clicked into place. Vex's odd behavior, his convenient absences during critical moments. I had been so blinded by my suspicion of Ilara that I had missed the obvious signs right under my nose. "Vex ... I breathed, the name tasting like ash. "But ... why us? Why this secret?" Ilara's gaze softened again, the Admiral momentarily receding to reveal the woman I knew. Because what we have, Alex, is real. It started as part of my cover, I admit, but it became something more. Something I wasn't willing to let go of, even with all this at stake. She stepped closer. Closing the distance I had created, I had to know if the man I fell for was as honorable as I believed him to be. She reached out and took my hand. Her touch was electric, just as it had always been. Our relationship is still against a dozen regulations, I said, a weak attempt at reclaiming some semblance of protocol. She smiled, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Good thing I'm the one who writes the regulations. A laugh escaped my lips, a sound of pure, unadulterated relief. The weight of the universe seemed to lift from my shoulders. "Arrest your first officer, Captain," she ordered, her voice once again tinged with command. "Then report to my personal quarters. We have a debriefing to conduct." Her tone left no doubt as to the nature of that debriefing. As she turned to leave, she glanced back over her shoulder. "And Alex? Next time you want to pin me against the wall, just ask." I watched her go, my mind still trying to process the monumental shift in our reality. My lover was my boss. The most powerful woman in the galaxy, and she loved me. With a renewed sense of purpose, I activated my CUM. Security to the bridge. Arrest Commander Vex on charges of treason. Use of force is authorized. The order was given, the spy would be caught, and the ship would be safe. But as I made my way to the bridge, a wide grin spread across my face. The captain's duty was done. Now it was time for the man to report to his admiral. The future was uncertain, and our secret was bigger than ever. But for the first time in a long time, I felt like I could conquer the entire galaxy as long as she was by my side. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures from across the galaxy. Let us know in the comments what you think about Captain Thorne and Admiral Vance's predicament. See you next time.